and good morning and welcome to News 8 This Week. I'm David Bowman. Usually you see me on Good Morning Quad Cities weekend mornings, now filling in this space for a while. So thank you for spending part of your morning with me today. But what can we say about the man who led this show since the beginning? We, of course, are talking about the one, the only, Jim Mertens, and thank you so much for joining us.
Well, it's great that I get this opportunity, so thank you.
Yeah, well, and I'm happy to be able to help on the send-off a little bit, but I was writing down the script of how I was going to do this interview, and I was trying to summarize all the things that you've done, and I wrote down some of the things. So
Don't name them all.
Oh God, yeah, we'll be here all day. You've been a main anchor. You've worked morning show, midday, evening, night. You've been news director there was a short stint of that. You've met countless people sharing their stories. You've been a mentor to countless journalists as well. So I guess, what is going through your mind right now? What are you thinking about?
Well, I got to tell you the truth. 27 years is a very, very long time, and working at Channel 8, of course, has been an honor. You got to always remember that broadcasting is two different things. It's a responsibility to inform people, to be unbiased, to do your very best. But it's also, you become a family member in so many different ways. And I found that specifically when I was doing the morning show. Yeah. It was like night and day, and people were just so welcoming. And if they like the anchor teams, because it's more than just one person, of course, you're going to see success. Just be genuine, be honest, try to get all points of view, and you're going to do fine. And
you've done so many interviews, and you've worn many hats. So I guess, what would you want the Quad Cities and your colleagues to remember most about you?
About me? Well, hopefully they remember not to write in past tense. Hopefully, it's one of those things that I don't really think of I think of legacies when I think of Jim King, and I think of legacies when I think of Chris Minor. I just think I was a placeholder for 27 years.
Oh, no.
But because those were the people that, I looked up to, and those were the people that really built the foundation for this TV station. All I had to do is get out of the way and not screw it up. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just so important to remember that there's a legacy that dates back to 1963. Jim King being there 6 months after they finished this building. Yeah. Those are the people that are leaving a lasting legacy.
Well, I believe, if I'm allowed to have an opinion on this, I do believe you're also leaving that lasting legacy. When I started a year and a half ago, I immediately saw all the things that you were doing. You're not just an anchor. You're not just rolling in and just doing that. You're also turning stories. You're leading in the newsroom. You're doing so much. So I definitely think you're leading a very large legacy with that.
Well,
but leading into that as well, what are some of the most impactful stories you think you've been able to work on?
Now, that is so easy to answer. It seriously is. Because people always think, oh God, you got to talk to Barack Obama before he became president, or you did get to talk to Joe Biden, or you talked to George W. Bush. It was great because Iowa caucuses, they all come through, and so you get to talk to them. But the lasting stories for me have always been the personal stories, particularly about children. Yeah. People who have health problems but have persevered. People who have an inner strength. What I've always told, it's the same like I just said about my legacy, in that I just don't screw it up, don't get in the way. That's the same way it is as a reporter. Yeah. When you're telling other people's stories, do the best you can, respect those people, and make sure that what they wanted to say does get out there. That's been the greatest part of the job.
Awesome. And let's look at the future now. So I know you're going to Cedar Rapids, but talk about your future and what you're looking forward to.
Well, I'm going to Cedar Rapids. It's a different opportunity. It is a nighttime anchor, so it's the same thing. It's a staff so similar to this, hardworking people. Some people are new to the business. Some have been more experienced. And I'm looking forward to being that person who helps the next generation get better. As you know, and as everyone knows, it's hard to get employees. Whether it's a restaurant or a television station, and it's so important to make sure that if you at a restaurant, you get the best bartender, yes, you get the best waitress, or at least you make them the best of that. It's the same time in TV, is that you do your very best to try to make sure that these young reporters and photographers and producers are able to blossom and get better and better. And that's so rewarding to see how many people from here have moved on, even those from behind the scenes.
Yeah. And if you could leave one final piece of wisdom to us, to the people of the Quad Cities, what would that be?
Don't take yourself too seriously.
Amen. Awesome. Well, I appreciate that. And to say that you are going to be missed is definitely an understatement. So I do appreciate you taking the time to come on the show this morning.
No problem. Thank you.